Welcome to the Sunday Club with me and Kevin. Danny's not here today, unfortunately. He's been stuck up a mountain and he can't get down, but
Those
Kevin here.
pesky mountains. He can never get himself away from them, can he? Bloody mountain man.
He's addicted to the climb. Addicted to the climb, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kev's here with us, and you obviously know me. A mix between Shadow from the Gladiators and the Halifax man. I'll get up in the mornings and stretch all the women out. It's me, Derek Evans, Mr. Motivator. Pump, pump, pump.
Oh, bloody hell. I haven't heard of Mr. Motivator for years. Oh, bloody hell, James. That's a good one.
Thought I'd make an appearance.
Yeah. What are we talking about today, James? Just a little football match that happened on Friday?
You could call it half a match.
It wasn't even half a match. It was 30 minutes of a match, I would say, in my eyes.
Yeah, I think this has been the first time where the international break has really, really showed on our poor Leeds United legs.
Yeah. It was very tiresome, wasn't it? Watching it and then playing too, so that's always good.
It was. There's a few off performances through the match. We'll go from, I guess. Go through the game.
Yeah.
Don't really want to, because it's a bit of an anticlimax.
Should we just finish the video here then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Fucking shite.
Yeah.
So 1-1 with Rotherham. I mean, it's been the same old story in games like this against teams like this season, where we should be obliterating them, and then we sort of let them back into it a little bit. I mean, Huddersfield, we were 4-0 up, so it wasn't too much of a big deal. The Plymouth game, 2-0 up, so we've managed to hang on. But then this game, we only had the one goal to hang on to, and that just proved a little bit too much this game. How did you feel Friday went, Kevin?
I just thought it was a bit shit, weren't it?
Wank.
Yeah. Tiresome. Some players had some really bad games. I think Dan James probably wasn't his best game in a Leeds shirt. Shooting. A couple of the cameos weren't too bad towards the end, but it's like we've gone back 2 years towards the end of that match, watching Paddy B run around up front and knock at the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I will put this down to the international. I mean, I think even for the first, you say half an hour, we were shown what we were made of, and we were taking the piss, really. But we didn't really test that keeper a lot, did we, really? Even when we were dominant, we didn't work him enough as we should have. It's a bit like tippy-tappy around the box a lot again, and trying to find the perfect shooting opportunity, and it's not going to work in some of these games. You just need to get pop shots off early, and even if the keeper's spilling them and deflections, it all matters. And I think hopefully we have learned from these games in the past. Hopefully we'll learn from this one as well, mate.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this. I was talking with Jer last night from The View. He was talking about arrogance, like we were starting to be a bit more arrogant as a team, and it weren't connection, it weren't a cohesion. What are your thoughts on that, James?
I agreed to that to some extent. I think there was a game against Ipswich reminded me of it as well, where we were very sort of, I don't know, just going through the motions a bit, and then every now and then we'd just go pop, 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 and then we'd look really good. And then I do. That the way we were playing had that sort of feel about it, where it was like everybody on that pitch knew that we probably should have won that game quite comfortably. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that you still have to put in the effort to get them results. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. We need to be 100% constantly, first half, second half. And there was this bit of we're leading this game, or 1-1, we'll score. It seemed like we felt that we were going to score another goal.
Yeah,
great. A little bit of urgency was out of us, especially second half. It was just weren't in that game, and could have probably lost it as well. I mean, it had that written over it as well. Like them games that we as Leeds fans always fear, where we're dominant, should win, and then it just turns out that we don't, and we didn't. luckily, yeah, West Brom did us a favour yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's the highlight of the weekend is West Brom beating Ipswich. Southampton drew as well. The Huddersfield boys stepped up for us, which is good. I was like, oh, we've been giving them a bit of a pasted recently as well, and of course we've done us a favour. I've always loved that Darren Moore. He's a great bloke, you know. Always does good things for us. Fair play to it.
I think what's happened is everyone's purchased dog bothering, anti-bothering devices.
Yeah.
So no dogs have been fucked around with. So it's give them a bit of energy, like the Huddersfield fans and players. So thank you for purchasing.
But
Anti-bothering.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well, no more dog botherers. What we'll go through. We'll talk about a couple of players then, James. I'll talk about like the big glaring one for me right now is Georginio Rutter. Obviously, you watched the game. I've watched the game. I think all the fans have watched the games. See, he was holding his side for like the majority of that match, like touching his hip, and then he looked like he was hurt.
Yeah, he's probably still carrying a little bit, isn't he? And he is important to us because he's such good. He's such good.
Just because of everything that he does.
His work rate's good. Defensive good. Defense. Yeah, he's so influential in our. When we look good, he's so influential in our game. So
he even got an assist, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he did exactly. Even on a poor performance, the ball was class as well that he played.
Yeah, really good.
Inside the fullback, but he did seem a bit off it. Maybe the game was a game too soon for him, but he still got an assist. There's still enough players out there to sort of not carry him, but like support him a bit more. And we had enough quality out there to still win that game comfortably, even with him and his bad hit.
I think so too. I mean, we had enough quality out there to beat every team in the league in my eyes. That's the strange thing about this performance, because it was tame, lackluster, no energy, especially in that second half. Do you think? I mean, I guess we had the Welsh players come back. They were playing on Tuesday, weren't they? And then they've come and they've got a game on Friday. I mean, I don't think Ampadu or anybody was poor. I just don't think there was the usual the umph in them that we've seen in previous games. And I think Farke will probably give him a couple of days off now before Swansea.
You'll need to, mate. You definitely need to, because we started quite brightly, but as the game wore on, you could see it was probably a game too soon for a few of them. The Welsh boys, they were a little bit off it. I mean, Dan James wasn't really involved that much, apart from that when he went through and blazed it over. Yeah. Ampadu was nearly gave him a goal. It was one of them games where but you again, and we always do this. We don't really give other teams credit for what they did, and Rotherham did grow into the game, and they started thinking, actually, they're not overrunning us, and we can get them if we just put it in a bit, and they did in the second half. They looked a little bit dangerous on the breaks.
Yeah. I mean, that striker, what's his name, Nombe, when he did Cooper for pace, they weren't a slow side. And he did well up there, that Rotherham striker on his own, didn't he? He did. I know in the first half he didn't win anything. I mean, I think Roden and Cooper won every single duel in that first half. But in the second half, he started to win them a bit more, didn't he? And he started to bother him a little bit more. Botherham. He kept going. That was the thing. He kept going. He didn't let the first half and the fact that he weren't getting the ball put him off, and he just kept working the defenders. And then obviously it towered. He had his chance to score when Ampadu tried to do that silly back pass header. Yeah.
And then Cooper saved our asses, to be fair to him.
Well, that's experience, isn't it? That's one thing that Cooper does bring. Obviously, it's not pace, but it's experience. And I don't think he had a bad game.
No.
I don't think he did. And the goal that we conceded was, I mean, you look at, there's not one individual error there, is it? It's like 8 all rolled into one that come through to the goal. I see people blaming Meslier. Do you know how hard it is? Because he didn't even think they'd get a shot off, did they?
No.
I caught my throat. And I am not blaming it. Honestly, it's just a catalogue of errors. There's no blame there.
No.
I took some abuse for yesterday for saying that Bamford shouldn't have stuck his toe out for that ball. What do you think about that?
I mean,
you can defend him if you want, James. I didn't say anything bad. I just said
no. He shouldn't have. Yeah. But again, it's like did it really do anything? I don't know, man. It was a bit of a half offside to give, and we should have had a penalty as well. But that's just masking a poor performance. We'd have been lucky if we'd have got that goal and would have won that game. I'd have counted that as a lucky result.
Yeah.
And even if we'd have got the penalty, I might say the penalty was a bit earlier, so maybe we'd have gone on.
Yeah, but Bamford was on the pitch when if that penalty would have been awarded.
He wouldn't have taken it. He surely wouldn't have taken that penalty.
Well, he walked up to take that free kick, didn't he?
He would have been left in Rotherham if he did.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, we'll get back to obviously some of the player performances now. Obviously, before we went off on a tangent there. What do you think about? We're talking about Cooper there. What do you think? How do you think Cooper played, James? Because I mean, there's lots of people on there saying, "Get rid, do this, do that." I mean, we both mentioned here numerous times we don't see him as a starter for the club. We don't see. He's getting on a bit now, but I don't think he was that bad, really. Apart from getting done for the pace, yeah.
He weren't that bad, and the like you say, him getting done for pace. We all know, probably all his teammates know, and Fark knows that in one-on-one situations against good players, he's going to get done for pace. Yeah. So you've then got to be as a team and go, try not to get him isolated.
Yeah.
He needs to have someone, but he needs to have someone backing him up when in these moments. And I know it's hard to do that in games because everything's like 100 miles an hour. But we need to be wary of that when sort of play like Cooper and Ayling's playing, they will get done. They will get done.
And that's what Botherham has done well. Is like the covering. And I guess this takes us onto Botherham's replacement. What did you think of Al Firpio, James?
I didn't really think
anything.
I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was great. I just think he was there.
Yeah, I think
he's like a standard championship player, just getting his first game back after a long time.
His position was a bit, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's just the way it's where he gets asked to play though, because we kept banging on about Ayling being caught out of the field all the time, but he's obviously been asked to play high up, and push up all the time. It all depends on how he's been asked to play and where he's been asked to position himself in certain situations. But yeah, he didn't stand out as being terrible. He didn't stand out as being anything special either. He just seemed like he was getting the ball, knocking it off, not really doing anything outrageous. But again, it is his first full game. Like, so just we'll work
with you. We'll work with you. Yeah. I mean, he's taken a lot of abuse. I mean, everyone wants him sold. I guess it's just after a bad performance and the way our fan base. I mean, we've done it. We've overreacted sometimes. Do you still think he's got something to give though, James?
Yeah. I'll probably stick my neck out and say that. Yeah. But if he gets up to top fitness and he can play the ability that he can play, that he's noticed for back in Betis and got his move to Barcelona. If he can pick up any sort of form like that, he'll be one of the better players in this division, not the Premier League.
I think he would suit if we played a back three though, wouldn't he? And he was playing as a wing back instead of a full back. I don't think he's a full back. I think he's a wing back. He's good at getting forward and cutting inside and playing that inverted role as well, or playing the passes off. And he's really good at that. It's just not good at what we need him to do, which is defended.
Yeah, I think you can pick fullback. You can pick him as a wing back. You can put all the sort of markers you can on him over that side. But it could just be that he's not suited to English football, and that's what it could be.
Yeah,
simple as that.
That's probably
the English. Yeah, but we won't know that until a couple of games into this. Give him a few games in this division and see how he copes. If he picks up his his form and he does well, then it's probably his standard. But
do you think he's going to play multiple games in a row though? Do you think he's going to play multiple games? Do you think he's going to get 2, 3 4 starts in a row? For me, I don't think he is.
He probably won't, but he's one of the players that probably needs that.
Yeah,
just purely on the basis of how much football is played. So he's probably going to need a run of games to get up to go. I mean, this has been a problem for teams in the past. It's like if a player has a bad game, Leeds are either they'll get him out straight away and don't give him time to sort, or they'll just keep playing them.
Yeah, I know.
And playing them. and playing. Yeah, it's one. There's been no sort of middle ground with that. It's like they do need runs of games to get up to fitness, but then if they're constantly being shy, they need to be brought out of the team. But I'm sure Farker knows what he's doing, mate.
Well, we'll get onto that now then, about what Farker knows what he's doing. What do you think about his changes and the timing of those? Because he you know, some things. I mean, I thought Willie Nonto come on and played actually quite well. You know, I actually thought Nonto has put himself in contention to start against Swansea. That's my personal opinion. Jayden Anthony, he did some good stuff when he come on as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not dropping Somerville. Obviously, not going to drop Somerville, but there's a place there with Dan James not having his best game. Would you maybe play Nonto instead of Dan James?
I would, purely on his ability, but not because of Friday's game, because I think it was so quick after the international break, and they didn't really get a lot of work in. I know they couldn't really tell with Rotherham not having a manager and how they were going to play and stuff, but I think they just needed a little bit more time just to get back into the swing of things with Leeds. Ability wise, yeah, I'd put Nonto in because I think I've never said that he's not a good player. He's a great player.
It's just a shitbag, isn't it?
You know my feelings on him as a person and how he's handled himself, so I won't go into that. But ability wise, yeah, play him. But continuity wise, I would probably give Dan James another run out again, just for that continuous and how we play. He's been excellent.
And it's against his old team.
Yeah,
and you know how and I know how people always come back to haunt them when they play against road clubs. That's always a good one. And we're never going to go play against FC Zurich, are we? You know,
we might do when we get up to the
Conference League.
What is it? Conference League next year.
I don't think we're going to go to the Conference League next year unless we win the FA Cup, mate. Well, you never know. I
don't mean playing it next year.
I fancy
playing it next year.
I fancy us for a cup run this year, but we'll talk about that another time. We'll talk about that on Tuesday when we do our preview for Swansea. But is anybody
regular Tuesday show that we
the regular one that we hardly ever get out and do because we're always idiots? I mean, should you just look at this as a flash in the pan sort of game, really? Just like knock it to one side. Come the end of the season, it could be quite a valuable point. I mean, thinking everyone's throwing it out of proportion. Let's say it ruined my weekend, but I'm like that. I am a drama queen when it comes to Leeds. So I think we should just like pound this one off because at the end of the day, we're still undefeated. And if we win the next two matches, this game will be forgotten.
Yeah, it's another game that in previous seasons that was a loss.
Yeah,
we'd have lost it, and even sitting watching it, I was like, "Okay, we're going to lose this game," but we didn't. We didn't lose it, so it's a shit game. It's a shit game to go through. We can knock it down to the short turnaround and getting back from international breaks for a lot of our players, and that's the other thing as well. A lot of our players were away.
Yeah.
Rotherham obviously probably had one or two away, if any. I don't know, don't care. So they were a lot fresher. Wednesday will be the game that I'll look to and be like, right, see if we can get back on track. If we shit in that game, then it's obviously you'll need to make some changes and whatnot and address the problems. But yeah, you have to take this one game as a like you say, like a flash in the pan or whatever, and be like, yeah. Well, these games are going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if we would have won, we'd have still been behind the same amount of points behind Leicester. I know we've caught up a little bit on Ipswich and Southampton. Southampton are starting to obviously put a decent run together. I know they didn't win yesterday. We're catching Ipswich, aren't we? I think if we haven't lost, if we kept up like the wins, draws, and games ratio, we're going to catch them, aren't we? Definitely. If we kept on the same form, we are catching them.
Yeah. We could catch Leicester as well.
Yeah. So it's these sort of games, like you've just said last year, we would have lost this last year. We lost it the year before, we'd lost it maybe not under Bielsa, we would go out.
Maybe even under Bielsa we might not, because there was a couple of games under him where games that we should have most definitely won, we didn't win. And Wigan's got twice for Wigan.
Yeah, Wigan. Fucking Wigan.
Wiggle-woonies.
Yeah. And then there's we've got some big games coming. We've got Middlesbrough after me.
Got Blackburn soon.
Blackburn's, yeah. Coventry.
Preston, the other one.
Coventry, Ipswich, all coming up.
Yeah.
I think we said we've got 7 games in December.
Something like that. Something ridiculous like that, yeah. But like, I think with a team like ours, having continuous play, I think will benefit us.
I hope so. No more international breaks, yeah. No more international breaks. No more fucking shitbag games. We just need to get their heads down now. I reckon, honestly, one good thing about us, this team, every time we've had a shit performance, we've come back and we've played really well the next game. So I'm really looking forward to Swansea now.
Yeah.
And it's at home. And you know what we're like at home. Just at Leeds midweek, man. Oh, fucking hate Leeds midweek.
I keep not addressing that whole kit situation and being like, it's not a thing, it can't be.
It is a thing.
It fucking is, isn't it?
It's fucking definitely a thing. We are fucking shitting away.
We need to do it though. We need to get that sorted.
And it's the kit that me and you have both got as well, isn't it? It's like the kit, it's one that me and you have got. We both put away. Yeah, it's really bad. It's, how many? 542 days? 942 days? Oh, what? I don't know. I'm just not happy with that.
We have to. We can't. We could go up still, but it will be highly difficult if we don't win a game in our away kit, or even our third kit, and still think we can qualify automatically. I mean, we could, I guess, but it'd be a lot difficult. We're gonna win. We're gonna win one, aren't we? Surely.
Yeah, have to this season especially. Hopefully at Rico, but yeah, we'll see. Sorry, it's not called the Rico anymore, is it? It's called the Coventry Builders Society Arena. Little shitbags.
Yeah. Will we wear our away kit in that game?
Probably, yeah.
Probably wear the fucking
pink
brute pasta one, won't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, James. Okay, couple more things. I need you to give me 2 positives from the Rotherham game, please.
2 positives from the Rotherham game. Summerville played well again. I mean,
he was best player on the pitch by a mile. He was, even towards the end, he was taking the game by the scruff of the neck, mate. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I love him. It's just
once he learns to, like, sometimes when to release that final pass, he's going to be the next level. But he's still a bit raw. But he was the best player on the pitch, mate. And sometimes when he doesn't release it, he opens up other people as well. So this is not me slagging him here. This is me saying that every player can add to their game, and if he's just going to learn that as he goes, I'm just so happy. The vultures are going to be swirling around him soon, though, Jimmy.
Yeah, they will be. I mean, there'll be a few. Like we know this. We know that there's a few of our players that people are going to be interested in taking, purely because where we are and how we're playing.
Yeah,
apart from Friday, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. Somerville, one massive. Good point from that game, and the fact that we just didn't lose it.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, there's no other players that really stood out as playing excellent. Not really.
I did think Glenn Kamara had a quite a good first half. Quite slicky feet, mate. Yeah, when he's on the edge of the box and that as well. I thought he had a good first half, but then he faded big time. But he was on his international duty as well. So and then him and Ampadu got to face each other in a match, didn't they? Because they drew each other in the playoffs, Finland and Wales.
Oh,
that's going to be good. One just going to breaking each other's legs. I heard that on Square Ball. I didn't copy it. I just heard it. All right.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah. That would be. Yeah. To be fair, you're right. Kamara, I did like the way he played in the first half. He was nice on the ball. Yeah, just the fact of not succumbing to the inevitable defeat that seems to be coming.
Because when they had that free kick in the last minute, I thought, oh, this is Leeds. This is just what. Did you think the same thing? I was like, then it went out, didn't it? And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Leeds.
Yeah. But the other thing as well about this might just be me. There was still always in my head like, no, we'll score again. We will.
I did think that. Yeah.
We'll score again. Just didn't happen this time. But.
Yeah. Well, on to Swansea. Okay, James, I think we'll finish up there then, mate, this week. don't know, 25 minutes, something like that. We're hoping to do one on Tuesday, people. We're just shit at midweek stuff. So hopefully they'll come out. Yeah, we haven't done this for a while. I've been Kevin.
I'm still James. James.
Thanks for watching Leeds House.
Or Mr. Motivator.
I'm Mr. Motivator as well. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.